everyone, I'm back. I wasn't expecting to be back quite so quickly, but I had some free time, so I thought I might as well get this done. And we are going to be looking at some liveries today. Um, Obviously, all the teams have got, you know, got their liveries out. It's actually been a while since we first saw the Aston Martin, which was the last one to be released. Um, so yeah, I've finally got round to making this video. I wanted to make the um, predictions one first. So yeah, now on to liveries, and I am going to be ranking them from 11th to 1st. So um, yeah, and we are going to start off, you may have already guessed from some of the things I've been saying, with 11th place Audi. Now, their livery is mid, is the best way to describe it. But the problem for Audi is the livery is a mid livery amongst a pack of brilliant ones. Um, Here we go. Um, so even, you know, even because they changed the look of the car and they changed a little bit of the look of the livery for preseason, preseason testing. So they've got like a white outline now around all the black sponsors on the silver, or at the very least around the Revolut. Um, I don't like it, and one of the reasons is because we have seen better from Audi, but one of the other reasons is because it basically it's not new. We've seen it before. I mean, some people don't like it, but the putting the BP on the shark fin, I like how they've done that because it's a bit of a out there thing to do, and it's just something different. Whereas, we've seen this livery. We saw this livery first of all, originally in November, I think, last year. The concept livery they showed off. I didn't like it then because I didn't like the half and half look. Um, yeah, that's I just don't like it. And it's just mid, very, very mid. And for Audi, they can't afford to be mid in 2026 with their livery because everyone else has just come out the blocks flying. I mean, you look at their 2022 concept. Um, you know, that was that was a brilliant livery. Um, in fact, someone has nicely made a version of that livery on a 2026 car. Um, but yeah, and that version ties in with the rest of their motorsport brand because you look at their car that they have in like Dakar, for example. You know, I mean, it's it just ties in together. Um, so yeah, so you've got the Audi in 11th place, and then in 10th place, I have to go with the they last year their livery. I loved it. They haven't changed it, but the problem is they during last year changed their livery and a little bit. They had the extra pink on the side pods, whereas this year, um, their livery they went back to the blue on the side pods. Um, so yeah, that I'm not a fan of because we have seen better. They've changed a little bit on like the nose and stuff, but it's not great in terms of like the changes aren't like other teams that have similar liveries to last year have at least brought some changes. Um, all Alpine's done is reverted back to blue on the side pods and put some extra pink on the nose. And I was hoping because they're now powered by Mercedes and all of that. I was hoping for like a bit of maybe some silver on the car would have been cool. I mean, obviously you got their 2021 car is never going to be beaten. Certainly not while BWT is insisting there's pink on the car. Um, but you know that Alpine, look, it's better than the Audi. The Audi, I just it just feels mid. At least the Alpine is an evolution on a livery that at the when it was originally released, I loved that livery. You know, but then this year they just like they could have changed it a bit more. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm putting Alpine in 10th. So now moving on is my ninth place livery, and I'm going Mercedes. I'm not such a fan of their livery. I mean, look, I'm saying this in comparison to the other liveries. I love the Mercedes livery. In my opinion, it's an improvement on last year. I love the little AMG gilt. Some people say they don't like the AMG sort of stripes. And for those that don't know or thought it was Adidas, but they messed it up, no, that is the five stripes of AMG. So you've got the stars and the stripes. Going a bit American there, Mercedes. But no, I really love the little nod to AMG as well. Because people just say it's the Mercedes F1 team or the Mercedes Petronas F1 team, but it's the Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula One team to give it its full name. Um, I'm a bit sad that there's no Adidas or WhatsApp because they have the little WhatsApp emoji car, which is quite cute. But WhatsApp are nowhere to be seen on this car. Nor are Adidas, which you know, I mean, at least Audi has Adidas on their car. That's one positive. And there's also the Microsoft logo. I mean, they could have incorporated that better, you know, and they didn't just have to do Microsoft. They could have you know, I mean, obviously Petronas wants the teal, so you can't put like AMG green on there. If like Petronas wasn't there, I'd say put the AMG green on there, as you see on the I don't know if it's on the F1 Academy card this year, but certainly the last 2 years it has been. Um, and then they could do a whole thing with Xbox because Xbox is green. But yeah, I mean, I I will admit I prefer it to last year's, other than the airbox. The silver airbox was cool. Um, and the whole Microsoft thing. But yeah, also if they'd have made the wheel covers that Patronus teal as well, that would have been nice little homage to sort of 2010s 2020s, what sort of 2020, 2021, when they had the teal on the inside of on the sort of the wheel rim, I guess. Um, but yeah, so Mercedes, they're down in ninth, unfortunately for them, just because there are so many good liveries. and I feel like Mercedes is not quite up there. Going up to eighth, we have the Aston Martin, and that is like for the last 3 years now, they have perfected the green. They've got the right shade of green. Um, and I love the little triangle pattern on the side pods. That's cool. And the green sort of volt green, I guess, kind of lines. Um, and on the wheel covers, Celsius. That's a bit of a coup from Aston getting Celsius on there because they were with Ferrari. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the sort of black front wing. The Aramco rear wing, I mean, I like that it's no longer that gradient, but they had two colors to pick from, blue or green. Now, the car is green, right? So they should have gone with green. It's just that blooming. Whereas, you've got Valvoline that has the red and the blue. That's fine, but that's because that's a tiny little thing. Aramco's got the whole blooming back wing. Also, I like how they've got the new Honda logo. They haven't just stuck with the old one. So I appreciate that as someone who's interested in branding. I appreciate the update there. Um, yeah, all in all, I like it. I like the how they've used sort of put the carbon in there because of course there's the new regulations about carbon, which I think has helped except for Audi because like half their car is blooming carbon. That can't. Part of me wonders how that can be legal. Like half their car is carbon fiber, pretty much. But clearly the FIA thinks it's legal, so fine. But with the Aston, the integration of the carbon, I think that's cool, which is why I put it above the Mercedes. But now, Racing Bulls is my seventh place. People might disagree with me here. And that's fine. These are my rankings, not yours. If you want to say what's what, then you make your own ranking video. That's fine. Um, but on the 2025 car, the sort of bull gradient at the back, I wasn't such a fan of that. I will be honest. I didn't like that. So now on the new one that's been cut off, I actually like that. Um, I like how they've done it. They're kind of given it a bit more of an edgy style to kind of go with the slightly more, I guess, edgy look of the cars. Um, I also like how, because I think at the front of the cars last year, um, I think the number was red. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but I seem to recollect the numbers being red, whereas they're now blue, and then you've got the little blue bits on the side. I mean, I was hoping for something completely different, but I can't complain with this. Although the renders were all right, but then you look at the real thing in that massive airbox. But yeah, um, one of the other things is the Tudor bit on the back wing. When they did that last year, I wasn't, I didn't like that because I like where it says Red Bull on the back, on the front of the back wing, which it had last year on the renders. But then when they switched that out for Tudor, I wasn't pleased. But hey ho. Um, yeah, all in all, a slight improvement from last year, in my opinion, and was a great livery. I think the fact that it's the same when they could have like gone all out Ford with it, um, or and I mean, but I can't really complain because it is a nice livery. Um, so yeah, but it's not my favorite. Um, and it's still by no means my favorite livery from Faenza. You've got the what is it like the O 08, I think. the '08 Toro Rosso. Um, with the and there were quite a few actually from like where they had that kind of hand drawn, hand painted kind of looking bull on the front and the gold nose. That I really liked. But this is still in terms of this year's liveries, this is all right, but it's not the best. Now, sixth place is McLaren. You might be thinking, why have you put McLaren so high up? It's the same as last year. Yes, but McLaren has, their liveries are strong, you know, and they've improved it from last year because they've got a little extra bit. They've got extra bits of papaya dotted around. Um, and the kind of tealy Allwyn colours that we saw last year, um, are they've darkened them a bit, which means you can barely actually tell they're there, other than like on the airbox. You can't really tell they're on the mirrors or on the side. Um, and just the extra bits of papaya are really nice. Um, yeah, and also they gave a rather valid reason actually for sticking with it, which is it's taken them to two back-to-back constructors titles and um their first drivers title since 2008. um but yeah, so I mean I feel like that is a very valid reason for sticking with the same livery, and they have changed it enough. um when I looked at it the first time, because I watched the reveal of this live, I saw it and I was like, that looks familiar, but not the same. And as I look side by side with last year's, you can see where the extra papaya is. Well, certainly I can. The Gemini wheel covers. I mean, I'm not such a fan of them because I liked the chrome ones because there was equal proportion of colors, whereas on these it's mostly blue because of the Gemini logo. Um, but other than that, I love this McLaren livery. It's one of their best for the last few years. They still haven't made the DP World not purple, but I guess what at some point we've just got to accept that sponsors are going to be in whatever colours they want to be. And McLaren have managed to make the Allwyn be darker. We should just accept that. um, Also, something I found interesting is this McLaren Racing Club on the front wing end plate. I have no idea what that's about, but I'll be interested to find out. Hopefully, they talk about it. So, yeah, that was McLaren in sixth place, and then in fifth place. And there's a bit of news with this one. Apparently, they are what is it? Yes, so the FIA is actually now looking into it because apparently it breaks the rules. Um, so go figure. I, the renders I loved a lot. I really, really liked the renders of the new livery. You got the chrome in like everywhere pretty much. Uh, the back wing dotted along the sides, stuff like that. On Certainly on the white side of it. Um, and then so I liked all the little chromey bits and pieces and that. But then this is where I it kind of drops off a bit. Because you look at the actual car and the chrome is gone. there's no chrome on the actual physical Cadillac. If you look at the images from testing, it's not chrome. So where's all the chrome gone? You know. Um, but yeah, I'm still sticking it in fifth place, and I mean, because just almost because of just the pure audacity to do a livery like that, and also how they've put the Cadillac script. I appreciate that how they've done that. Um, yeah, and the whole kind of idea of a monochrome livery, um, kind of yeah, especially given because one of the things with Cadillac is they're sort of basing their management strategy and how they run the team after NASA, and like the space shuttles were like just black and white. So I feel like that's cool. I mean, I prefer the white side over the black side just because, again, the space shuttle idea, the space shuttles were mainly white with black accents. Um, so yeah, but I mean, it gives BAR vibes from what, 99, I think. Um, but yeah, just the audacity to do that as like a team in their first year in F1, I can't help but admire that. But Cadillac is only P5, so who's beaten Cadillac? Well, the first one is Red Bull. I that it's different. That gives it quite a few bonus points because we've had the same livery year after year after year, and now it's different, and it's got the brighter blue, which I really like. Annoyingly, again, with the actual car, the blue does the little patterns and all of that get kind of hidden, which is a shame. But I still really like the livery. It's something different. I love the nice bright blue, and yeah, honestly, Red Bull with this kind of smashed it out the park. And I was thinking, beforehand, you know, is Laurent gonna have them have a different livery? Because as I said quite a lot in my predictions video, Christian Horner's no longer there. They've got a new team boss. It's his first full year with the team, and I was thinking, come on, he's gonna want to like do something of an overhaul. And then they showed off the new like logo with the white outlines and stuff, and I was like, yeah, something's gonna happen here. It's If it's not a different livery after this, I'm not gonna be happy. But yeah, I mean, it's not like my dream Red Bull livery. Like if they release like literally a Red Bull can on wheels, basically, that would be like number one for me. They did do that with a testing livery, God knows how long ago, and yeah, it looks really, it looks really cool, and it does look like a Red Bull can on wheels, and that is my favorite Red Bull livery, Red Bull F1 livery of all time. So yeah, um, but this one, and the glossy paint as well just is really nice. It's just a shame that it doesn't like come out like that on track. Um, but yeah, so that's my fourth place. Kicking off the podium is Williams. I love it. I think the Atlassian blue is a slightly lighter shade this year, which is nice. And the Barclays blue, and then and putting the Komatsu, like flipping the colors there is really cool. But then you have the dark Komatsu blue on the the rear wing end plate as well. So I really like that. Yeah, I think the only things really that spoil it are the Kraken being on purple in the front wing, and the Jackpot City wheel covers. But other than that, it's brilliant. Like because and they've got the red pinstriping with the white pinstriping, which they had first again like 23, 24 maybe. Last year when they unveiled the car, it was just white pinstriping, but then from the British Grand Prix onwards, they added the red. And I really like the having the red and white pinstriping. Um, but yeah, I think with this color palette, Williams just need to own the three blues and orange because you've got Gulf, you've got Claude, you've got Duracell. All three of them have orange in their branding. They used to have My Protein last year, um, which also had orange branding. But even like, whereas with the others, as I said on track, like maybe they look slightly different or slightly worse. But with the Williams, it just still absolutely pops, even even on the track, on the actual car. So yeah, I really like that. Um, and you know, and sort of, and one of the other things with the renders is where they put the Wilkinson sword on the fin. Yeah, that was really clever. I just really appreciated that. The Williams livery is really nice. So yeah, that's my third place livery. My second place livery though is Ferrari. I mean, just look at it. The black wings and the white and the. I mean, obviously the HP is annoying. I get that, but I just love white on a Ferrari. It reminds me. You know what it reminds me of is the 2004 Ferrari with the Marlboro on it, which I guess is kind of the whole point. Is to remind everyone of the Marlboro Ferrari, and in doing so, remind everyone of Marlboro because Ferrari is still partially bankrolled by the people that make Marlboro. Um, just instead they promote Zin, which is I think nicotine patches or something. Um, yeah, and it just gives that kind of vibe of a Ferrari that's going to do well. Um, you know, so and the fact that they've gone back to the 2024 numbers as well. Um, and the suits as well. I know it's getting a little off track, but the suits look like the 24 suits, but just without the yellow. At least to me. Um, but yeah, and that was a livery that up until they slapped HP on it, I really loved. Yeah, if Ferrari is second, who's first? Obviously, if you know your F1 teams, you know what team I haven't mentioned yet. But and if you know the F1 liveries, you probably already knew this was going to be my number one, and that is Haas. It is just a beautiful livery. I mean, white liveries just go well, honestly. And this one with GR on the sort of on the back as well, brilliant. And the Haas on the front of the back wing. They've done that a lot now. That red with the white Haas. That's kind of like almost their trademark now. Well, I mean, obviously it's their the Haas logo is their logo, but like the that kind of thing is something. It's almost like they just have to put that on every Haas livery, otherwise it's not a Haas livery anymore. And the way they've done the airbox with Ruckus as well, that I really appreciate. And all the little red accents and the black accents for GR. yeah, it's just a perfectly put together livery. I mean, there's the play and go things that are blue, but the livery is just so well put together that it just doesn't bother me. Which, when you make a livery that can do that, that's when you've made a brilliant livery. And it has have this thing, it seems, of they just they might not necessarily do well in the standings, although they did all right last year, and I think they might do all right this year as well. Um, but like their liveries just tend to be brilliant. Um, I mean, the 2023 one, I liked what they did with the side pods as well. Um, but yeah, the Haas is my winner. Um, I mean, yeah. So that's my rankings. Um, and yeah, and I mean, if you agree, if you disagree, put it in the comments. Um, but yeah, that's my 2026 F1 livery rankings. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to stick around.